You know what's kind of funny? The longer I have been on this diet, the less it feels like it has anything to do with food. Like, yeah, sure, I eat steak, eggs, bacon, all that. But that part is not really what sticks with you. When I first started, I thought the whole point was what's on the plate. I used to watch all these videos, read lists of top cuts and best fat ratios, thinking that was what made it work. But it's not that. Somewhere along the way, it stopped being about food and started being about what happens when food really gets quiet. That is the part that nobody really talks about. The part that's not flashy or exciting, but just steady. The part where you stop thinking about eating altogether and realize you finally have energy for everything else. I didn't really notice it while I was doing it. When you have been eating this way for a while, it just becomes background noise. You wake up, you eat, you move on. There's no drama. It wasn't until I stopped that I realized how much had actually changed. I went back to normal food. Nothing wild, just the stuff that everybody eats. And almost instantly, everything fell off. My focus dropped first. The same work that used to feel effortless suddenly felt like I was pushing through mud. Sleep got messy. Mornings that used to start clear were now heavy again. It's hard to explain, like someone added static back into the signal. That's when it hit me. Carnivore wasn't just changing what I ate, it was changing how my brain worked. I had removed this constant background noise I didn't even realize was there. When I was eating clean, things just lined up. Projects flowed, routines stuck, decisions were simple. But the moment I stepped away, it all scattered. That's when I understood. This diet isn't really about food, it's about function. When I eat this way, everything else in life gets easier to do. Once I got back on track, it was like everything around me synced up again. Not overnight, but gradually, like life finally remembered its rhythm. Sleep started making sense again. I would wake up before my alarm, not because I was trying to be that guy, but because I actually wanted to get up. There's something about feeling steady that makes mornings easier. Work started flowing differently too. I wasn't chasing motivation, it was just there. Even the boring stuff felt doable. And trust me, I used to be the king of new ideas. Every week, a new project. But this channel, for example, I have stuck with it longer than anything I have ever done in my life. And I think it's because my brain isn't constantly looking for the next hit of novelty anymore. It's kind of weird. When your body is stable, your mind stops bouncing around. You stop arguing with yourself. You stop needing little rewards to keep going. You just do the thing. And that discipline everyone talks about, it's not some huge breakthrough moment. It's quiet. It's waking up, eating, working, sleeping, and realizing you're not fighting yourself to do it. What surprised me the most is how much this started to affect things that had nothing to do with eating. Like stress. I just stopped reacting to everything. Stuff that used to instantly bother me. Traffic, people, small problems. Now it's like my brain just files it under not important. I don't get that wired feeling anymore, that edge when you feel like you need to rush. There's this baseline calm now. And it's not forced. It's just there. Socially, I am different too. I listen more. I don't feel the need to fill silence all the time. It's like slowing down made me notice the details again. Even the way I use my time has changed. I used to scroll through trends, read what everyone was doing, try to keep up with what's next. Now I couldn't care less. I'm not trying to chase what's new. I'm trying to make what's mine work. The best way I can put it is that Carnivore simplified my brain. Not in some deep spiritual way, just fewer tabs open. Everything runs smoother when you stop juggling things that don't matter. At this point, I don't even think about it as a diet. It's just how I live. No labels, no rules, no countdowns. People sometimes ask, so what's the carnivore diet really about? And honestly, it's not about food. It's about clarity. When you strip out all the noise, you start to see how much of your life was cluttered. Not just your plate, but your head, your habits, and your time. You realize how much energy you were wasting thinking about things that do not matter. Now everything feels quiet. Not empty, but just clear. And I like it that way. I'm not chasing variety or trends or the next best thing. I just want to build a life that feels steady, simple, mine. The carnivore diet was just how I got there. And maybe that's the point. You start for the food, but you stay for everything else it gives back.